Welcome, everybody, to the live stream. My name is Dan. This is Tweet FPV. Thank you all for coming out here this early Sunday morning. It's early for me, maybe not for you, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you for coming out in the chat. Expander made it on the board first. That's a first. Rob Logan Jr., what's going on, buddy? Mike Bergman, how you doing today? It's Darts, Tommy FPV, House FPV. How you doing today? Glad to have you here. Mike Bergman says he's working on a race whoop, or a Cinerace. Race whoop? Yeah, race whoop. I thought you said Cinerace, so that would be my confusion. Awesome that you are all here today. I really appreciate it. Today we're going to get rid of the Ghost package. That's over on Patreon. If you want to sign up, get your name on the wheel before the end of the live stream, go for it. You can find my Patreon link over at tweetfpv.com, as low as $2 a month, which is like pennies a day. You can help support my addiction by helping your addiction. I think something like that. If you want to chat in the YouTube chatty thing, go ahead and put it in the box down there. If you want to get my attention or call out anybody else in the chat, type @ and their name, and it will appear in orange, much like these comments right here. Or if you want to comment over on, oh darn, I didn't scroll down, but over on the Discord, I have a live stream channel. If you want to get a link to my Discord, again, go to tweetfpv.com. Scroll to the bottom next to all those affiliate links. Wink, wink, and go ahead and sign up or join my server. We got plenty of really knowledgeable people over there to help you out with your issues. If I'm not around, there's plenty of people that can certainly help get you going, but I spend far too much time on that. Far too much time on my Discord server, but I'm always there to just help you guys out. 45-year addiction, everything RC. Growing up as a kid, somebody, I think it might have been my dad, bought a large balsa glider, like big rubber band launch glider. I spent forever cutting little chunks of balsa wood to put that thing together. Never finished it, never got it together. I don't know if he gave it away or threw it away at a certain point. Everything started to get kind of moldy. It never actually got around to it. I've always wanted to do things RC cars, RC planes, all that stuff. Never, ever got a chance to do it until maybe 8 years ago. I bought my first quad, maybe 7 years ago, bought my first quad, and I've been absolutely hooked ever since. Prior to that, it's been all motorcycles all the time. That's my first and true love as far as, things go. We're not talking about people here. Motorcycles are they will always be in my life until I don't have that anymore. So RC is a second close hobby that I absolutely love doing. But anyways, enough about me. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are fine. I am recharging with a little bit of coffee, and this is if you don't know, I buy most of my coffee from Ruby Moon Coffee. I work with the guy that owns the company. He's a buddy of mine, service member, real cool dude, and he makes awesome coffee. It's shilling time. Actually, he doesn't pay me anything. I'm just doing this because I absolutely love his product. Ruby Moon Coffee. If you want to get your coffee, he has a bunch of different roasts. You can use my coupon code TweetFPV for $1.50 off each item, and that's over at rubymooncoffee.com. This is the Guatemalan roast. I was always talking about the Supernova roast being the one I like the most. He changed the name to the Ethiopian roast, and I guess the Guatemalan's like his number one seller. This is really good. I had a coffee filter failure at my coffee pot today, so I'm kind of working through some chunkies. I guess that'd be my third addiction is coffee. I used to be into cars. realized that they were expensive, and I don't do that no more. I have a couple diesel Jettas, one for me, one for my wife, and as long as they run, I don't care. They look like absolute. All right, how is everybody doing today? Barry Cook, how are you doing, my friend? House FPV, working on cleaning up your house? Oh no, your workbench today. Yeah, my workbench. I clean it up, and then all of a sudden, it is just an absolute disaster, and I don't know how it happens. I know exactly how it happens. You just see what my garage looks like. I've been working on this 1972 Suzuki TS250 and doing a complete restoration on it. Not like showroom quality, but like pretty, make it look like it hasn't been abused for the last 30 years. But my garage is absolute shit. Keith Drones, how are you doing today? Welcome. Glad you can make it. Really looking forward to hearing what you think of the new HD0 camera for your Shark Fart system. It's become Pavlovian at this point. I can't say Shark Byte. I call it Shark Fart. I don't know. I can't do it. Mike Bergman says, same here. I've had 1/7 scale Top Flight P51 Mustang. That's 65% finished. It's been like 8 years now. I really want to get into flying wings. I have this ready to fly Hobby Zone Super Cub S controller. The whole works. I went to the field yesterday to go fly. I was gonna bring that with me, but it was such a nice day. I'm like, you know what? I'm jumping on the Ducati, and I'm taking that for a ride out to the field. I brought my 5-inch race quad with tracer. We'll get more into that, and my Baby Hawk HD with the DJI goggles and the controller. Really like the Baby Hawk HD. Like if you're in the DJI ecosystem, give that thing a try. It is a lot of fun. It flies really, really well on that 3.5-inch prop. I think it's a really sweet size, 3.5-inch. But I let one of my buddies at the field fly it, and he's just like, as soon as he put the goggles on, he's like, oh, God, I don't want to see this. It is too good. Another buddy was flying a wing. I'm like, hey, go chase the wing. And he's chasing this wing around. He's like, I cannot believe how absolutely clear everything is. And if you haven't flown DJI, don't do it. Ignorance is bliss. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Charging packs to fly today. Awesome, Keith. Oh, let's see. Florida Wildlife. That's a name I don't recognize. Welcome to the live stream. If you've been here before, sorry I don't remember you, but certain names stick out. Florida Wildlife, that certainly would. Yeah. Motorcyclist Miata FPV. My back got too old for the first two. Crashes hurt less. Yeah, like as far as motorcycle riders go, there's those that have crashed and those that are going to crash. I have crashed thousands of times, usually off-road. I teach motorcycle safety for the MSF, so I probably a little bit different mindset. That doesn't mean I'm immune to it, but it's definitely it's something that I definitely know could happen. Mike Bergman, the race whip. Got to get a pic uploaded. It's a 3.5. Hey, Mike, can you upload a pic to the live stream chat over on the Discord? I'll put that up on the live stream for people to see. Off-axis FPV, welcome. Fart. Fart shark. Yeah. Were you hoping the Osmo Action 2 is the answer to the Session 5? Yes, we're going to talk about that today. There's been a lot more leaked images. I believe the announcement is going to happen Wednesday on the 27th. Super excited about that. It looks smaller than the Holy Grail, the one and the only, the unicorn, the GoPro Session 5. Keith Jones says, I love the new HD0 cam. It looks really good. Feels great. Response-wise. Keith Jones, have you flown DJI yet? I'm just curious, like, I've noticed a lot of people saying like, oh, this, analog looked just as good as DJI, but all those people that are saying that have never flown DJI, so they're honestly full of absolute because that is not accurate at all. I've flown Byte on the standard plastic lens. This little guy here, it looks really good. It looks better than analog for sure. The range isn't there. The VTXs are still a little underpowered, but it's a step in the right direction. It's a different. I believe that comparing analog, Byte, and DJI together is like apples and oranges. Yeah, they're still fruit, but they're different. Byte has an entirely different philosophy, like good video quality, picture quality, extremely low latency, like consistent low latency, whereas DJI is image quality over latency, and analog is just, well, that's the gold standard for latency as far as it goes. But defueling, head over to Patreon and you can see how over there. Yeah, so my motorcycles right now, I've got a 2010 Ducati Multistrada 1200S. I bought that bike brand new. I saw it. I sat on it at the International Motorcycle Show. I'm like, this is it. This is the one. I pre-ordered it before they were even imported into the country, and I got the second one imported into Michigan. Absolutely love it. It's the only new motor vehicle I have ever owned. Absolutely love it. I've also got a 02 KTM 520. Mostly off-road that, but down where I live, there's no off-roading, so I put some more street-oriented tires on it just to kind of fart around. I had a 09 BMW 1200 GS that I just sold. Love that bike, but it wasn't exciting. It just did what it was supposed to do. And I'm working on a 72 Suzuki TS250 right now, two-smoker. FPV Exchange has some Session 5s for $200. Oh, man. If you guys want to get some good used gear, FPV Exchange is the place to go. It's like Amazon meets Facebook Marketplace, and they're kind of doing that thing. And if you want to sell your stuff, that's a good place to do it, too. Support it. It's run by Nevin. He is an incredible human being. Really awesome for the hobby. Big help. Keith Jones, yeah, I flew DJI and Byte back to back yesterday. Do you own DJI or were you just borrowing one? I'm just curious. No real reason. L. Leston is laughing out loud. I don't remember why. Hello, how you doing today, man? Glad to see you here. I used the OA1 for $200. Pretty. What are we talking about? I don't know. But too heavy for my liking. Expander, think about ELRS, but don't really trust Happy Model and Beta FPV. Is getting close, getting a ghost bundle and flashing ELRS a good idea? Yeah, it's a great idea. I'll be honest with you, the Happy Model and Beta FPV are doing a pretty darn good job with their stuff. If you don't trust Happy Model or Beta FPV, there are hand soldered ELRS modules and receivers out there. Hang on a second. Like this one here. This is hand built by me. I do sell these on my website, tweetfv.com. I do sell them there. I hand solder each and every one of them. I test each and every one of them with an Emergent RC power meter, and I make sure they all bind to a known working receiver. So that doesn't mean they can't fail down the road or something will get knocked loose or something like that. But, oh, Osmo Action 1. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. It starts. Doesn't mean they can't fail down the road. The Beta FPV one is actually extremely good if you're looking for like the JR Lite style. I have a review video on it. Mine did have an issue. It's missing a resistor, making it so I couldn't flash it over the USB cord, but you can still flash it over Wi-Fi, which is kind of what you want to do anyways. I'm really hoping that Express ELRS develops a way to do over-the-air firmware flashing, kind of like TBS and FR Sky do. that would be, and Ghost, that would be great if they could get over that hurdle. But the Ghost hardware is very good hardware. Unfortunately, it is a one-way street. If you flash the Ghost hardware, you are ELRS for life. But it's a good thing. Express LRS is really good. Keith Jones, if DJI had OLEDs, it would look better than it does now. DJI has better range, though. Yeah, that was something I noticed yesterday, just flying around. Like, the range is just, it's just stupid range. Then again, I don't remember how much milliwatts I was on. Sorry, had a weird twitch there. Florida Wildlife, nice bike, even though I'm a Harley guy, but actually I love my old Honda CR 125. Yeah, we're not going to hold it against you there, Florida Wildlife. No, too many people get wrapped up into brand loyalty. Harley versus, well, the world. I don't care. Go out and ride. You can ride a freaking Vespa. I don't give it. As long as you're out there enjoying life. Okay, Keith Jones, you do. Okay, cool. Stolen Yakko. Interesting name. I'm kind of new into the hobby. I want to build my first drone and bought a flight controller ESC stack, but it's 40 amp rating. You think you'll be able to build a 5-inch freestyle? What are the limitations? Oh, dude, 40 amps should be fine. So 40 amps, that's 40 amps per motor. So you're going to be, 160 amps? You're not going to find a battery that can give up 160 amps. And that's 40 amps, and it probably has like a 80 amp burst rating. Like, you're limited by the power output of your battery. You'll be fine. Speaking of amp rating, you guys saw the review video on this little guy here. This is the Beta FPV 1S AIO ELRS LMNOP whoop board, and it's only 5 amps, and I want to build a 3-inch baby tooth with it. 5 amps doesn't seem like a lot, and I'm using the 13 millimeter FPV cycle motors. Emailed customer support over there, and I got an email back from the man, the myth, the legend, Bob Rugi himself. He says 5 amps is plenty. Don't worry about it. Mostly because you're not going to be able to find a 1S LiPo that can provide 20 amps of current. I'm like, yeah, well, that makes total sense. Yeah. He said, like, on a thrust stand, with an unlimited supply of 1S voltage, you could probably pull 13 amps out of those motors, but our power supply, 1S LiPo, cannot give you that much juice. So 5 amps, he said, no problem. So I think that's what's going to happen with that board. Instead of building like a performance racing whoop, it's going to go into a toothpick type design, much like these guys here. My frame, by the way, custom cut by myself. So it just kind of a follow-up on that. Is ELRS better than Ghost? I believe it will be. So better in some ways and not in others. So one of the big advantages of Ghost is VTX integration. So if you get like the hybrid boards or you have a Tramp VTX, you can control the VTX through the little OLED on the back of the screen or the Lewis script, and never have to like go into the Betaflight menu and configure your VTX. That's good. Ghost also has the ability to do LoRa and I think FLRC modulation, so you can do long range, short range, long range, high latency or higher latency, and short range, low latency. Words. Short range, low latency. Whereas ELRS is just LoRa, ultra low latency, but it still has incredible range because most of the modules will do 250 milliwatts, which is plenty on 2.4. The latency is lower on ELRS. The consistency for the packets is lower on ELRS. If you compare the 3 low latency systems, Tracer, ELRS, and Ghost, ELRS wins in just about every latency and consistency test I have ever seen. It has more range than your video transmitter has. We'll put it that way. What really matters if you can't see. We're FPV, so first person view. If you don't have the range, if your VTX can't keep up with your transmitter, then who really cares who can go farther? Yeah, Bardwell says Ghost is his favorite over ELRS. So firmware flashing is easier on Ghost because it does do over the air and it has its own companion app. ELRS, you do have to flash the receivers and the transmitter separately, but they can be done over Wi-Fi, and they are working on doing OTA flashing just like Tracer, Ghost, and FR Sky do. Yeah, off-axis 40 amps is plenty. So, in my opinion, if you want, Express ELRS has room to grow as well. So, like with closed systems like Tracer and Ghost, they have their own developers developing their own stuff. ELRS has, it's all open source. There's a bunch of volunteers doing the work. You have, like if you want a receiver for Ghost, you have to buy one that was made by Immersion RC. If you want a receiver for Tracer, you have to buy one that's made by TBS. If you want a receiver for ELRS, you can buy one from Happy Model, Beta FPV, Namimno, hand-built ones by like Fatboy FPV. They're all interchangeable. They all have different little features. Maybe they have the same layout as a Crossfire or Tracer pinout. Maybe some are tiny. Maybe some have the little SMD antennas like these little guys here. Or maybe they have diversity. Maytek's making them too. So if you're going to trust anybody, it's Maytek. So I think, sorry, I think ELRS is going to be the, it is right now, in my opinion, the system to beat, but there are things that don't they don't have. Just saying. Oh, look at that. Off axis. I did not know that this thing defaulted to top chat. I am now viewing live chat. Interesting. I hate the things that YouTube does sometimes. I don't know what the difference between top chat and live chat is. But thanks for the heads up. Let's see. Let's dig back through the chat here. No wonder I missed a lot of comments. Borges, how are you doing today? I believe Ghost can do both. Defining. Can I get 1 watt output on Ghost Light module if I flash ELRS and just get ELRS receivers? No, I don't believe it'll do 1 watt. I believe it does 250. If you go to the Express ELRS website, they have a breakdown of all the hardware and what their capabilities are. EDOC destroyed my 2S whoop. Trying to do an indoor ejection loop. Crashes. Ugh. I need to work on next week's IGO. Probably do that today. Delay on the comments for some reason. Yeah, the comments are delayed. There's a good like 60-second delay between what you see and what I see. It's just, I don't know. It's just a YouTube thing. Even on the low latency, it's like 30 seconds. But with low latency in the YouTubey thing, I lose all the live comments. Yeah. Yeah, I don't, like, what is a top chat versus live chat? Whatever. William McEwen, how you doing today? Hope you're doing all right. I am doing well. I'm running low on coffee, but whatever. How do I share a pic at Patreon? You probably can't. Do it over on Discord if you're on Discord. I don't even know if you're on my Discord. No, I mean for top chat and live chat. I don't know what the difference is. Top chat, this view filters messages such as potential scam to help make chat easier. Live chat. Oh, yeah, I don't want anything filtered. Don't want anything filtered. Mark, how you doing? I'm doing well today. How are you? That's what's missing, my coffee. Yeah, it's kind of a weird feeling when you're like, something's not right. I don't have like the cold sweats and the shakes. Let's see if we got any doggos here today. Oh, there they are. The one on the left is Mary. The one on the right is Sweetie. My little buddies. My little friends. They're doing what they do best. Sitting around doing absolutely nothing. Steady A says, I had my first Fiverr session with Ciati. It was great. Helped me with some direction and details with what I'm working on. Thanks again for choosing me. Yeah, so last month I did a 1 hour and a 30-hour block of flight training with Ciati FPV. If you don't know who Ciati FPV is, and you know who I am, I don't know what's wrong with you. He's the guy that comes on after Bardwell. I'm the guy that comes on before Bardwell that nobody knows about. Yeah. Anyways, Steady Eddie was I think the 60-minute winner. I'm glad it's working out for you. I know Ciati's become a very busy man right now, especially with doing some commercial gigs. But I think that's going to dry up here as soon as the weather cools off up in Atlanta. But Steady Eddie, is he doing flight training with you, or is he working with like build or tuning? I'm just kind of curious what direction you went. Defining as is Happy Model Slim, the JR Light ELRS module to get. It's metal, 1 watt, no bind button though. You don't need a bind button. You've got the Lewis script, and you've also got your phrase binding. Happy Model Slim Pro. Happy Model made 2 of them. Let's take a look. All right, doggos, we're gonna go away from you. Happy Model Slim Pro. Here is the one you are referring to. This one is the one you want. There is another one that is made to only interface with the T-Lite, but this is the Slim Pro. This one's pretty darn nice. I believe this one, I think, will do 1 watt. It's got an active fan in it. Let's see. Let's look at the specs here. Power output 30 dBm. 30 dBm. .30 dBm is 800 milliwatts. Nope, 1 watt. Yep, it'll do 1 watt. It's gonna get hot. You don't need 1 watt. I'll be honest with you. You need like 50 milliwatts. Is more than most video systems will deal with. But yep, that would be the one you want to get if you're looking for the light style. Patrick, how are you doing? Good evening. Good morning. Morning where I'm at. Assume evening where you are. All right. Wrong one. Well, these guys are being good. They really like sweet potato treats. They absolutely love them. All right, race whip picks. Here we go. All right, that's what we're talking about here. Very cool. Very interesting. Where I assume you're finding these on Thingiverse, possibly, as far as the design files go. I could definitely cut the carbon plates, or you can 3D print them. But I mean, I have the ability to cut carbon. Very cool. So interesting concept. That's got to be just loud as hell, though. Would ELRS on 1 watt using ceramic antenna outrun DJI video? It depends on how you installed it, where you mounted it, your RF environment. There are so many, like, honestly, I don't like when people ask, how far will this go? Like, I don't know, it could go 5 feet, it could go 5 miles. Like, it depends. If you do the world's worst job mounting your antennas and they're right up against the carbon fiber and you have a battery in front of that and you're in a super high RF environment and you're facing the wrong direction and your antenna's pointing the null directly at the receiver, I don't know. I can't say how far it'll go. It could certainly surpass DJI video. It could. Most likely it's not, because your mounting is going to be not optimal. Your RF environment's probably not optimal, especially if you're flying like a quad. You're probably going to be below line of sight once it starts getting away from you. Like, terrain will be between you and the receiver, which just destroys your range. But certainly higher output will help, but doesn't mean you're going to get better range. Ah, I see. Maybe something to try. Oh, by the way, if you have a Thingiverse account and you haven't changed your password, go do it. Do it right now. They had a massive data leak, leaked everyone's personal information, passwords, you name it. They've leaked everything. There's that Thingiverse link if you guys want it. So anyways, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, 1 watt uses ceramic. It might. I would say if you're looking for range, ceramic antenna is not the way to go. Ceramic antenna is for light and convenience, race quads, whoops, things like that. I think it's a good place for the ceramic antenna. If you're looking for actual like decent range or more reliable range, you're gonna want to do like EP1, the one with the T antenna. Unfortunately, a lot of the ELRS, like the Happy model ones that come with the T antenna, that T antenna is absolute hot garbage. Get the T antenna from the Ghost system, way much more better. Splinter, okay, espresso in hand, I am good. Now, sorry, espresso. I always say espresso. I don't know why. I was making Cuban coffee. I can't remember what it's called, but it's espresso, and then it's basically just hand whipped pounds of sugar to make like that, like a foamy, frothy top to it. I had this one guy I worked with. He's like real straight laced. I made that stuff for him because like if I make that stuff for him, I get more work out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a trick. And he came in the next day. He's like, "Hey man, you got more of that coffee? I need that coffee." He was hooked. It was great. JV FPV, I've been thinking about getting into ELRS. Which module is the one to get if I'm looking to get full size? Either a hand soldered home built one, the Nimno is another really good option. I've seen really good reviews on that, and the hardware looks like it's built very well. NIMINIO ELRS. I'm sure that's spelled incorrectly. Nope, not Luminaire. Heavy model is doing good as well. If you don't trust Happy Model, okay. Here it is. Let's see. Nimno, ELRS 2.4, low latency, blickety blah. Let's see. Let me get you a link for this guy. Oh, getting her generate. There you go. Check this one out. that would be the one I would get if I had to go pick one today. Yeah, those ducks look pretty beefy. Spec race. So Rick Zapata has been doing spec races for a while, and he's been using my 3D printed cavity frame. It's on Thingiverse. Just search for it, you'll find it. And I sent him some carbon cut frames for the spec class. So we'll see how well that works out. Watch the video I posted. Oops, something went wrong. Yay, YouTube just YouTubed me. Wait, why are you doing this? No, it's not going to work for me. Is there a reason to go 2.4 versus 900? Well, it's up to you. It's up to what you want to do with it. If you want low latency and long range, 2.4 is fine. If you want the ultimate long range, like if your intention for your build is to go as far as possible, then you want 900. 900 is a lower frequency, so it's higher latency, but it's better at getting around things. Like the wavelength being longer helps to defeat obstacles like trees, moisture in the atmosphere, things of that nature. 2.4 is a much higher frequency, so it's attenuated much easier by things like trees, people, batteries, moisture in the atmosphere, things like that. But if you're looking for, like, I want to go as far as possible, then 900. 900 is going to go farther than 2.4. It's just science, physics. But I am big into the 2.4 because I mostly race and fly closer range. If I was going to build something to go as far as possible to the moon and back, it's going to be 900 megahertz. Yeah, they've been out of stock. Happy Model makes a good transmitter too. I mean, it's all the same hardware. They're using the same spec, and they're just building the components the way they want to, but it's all the same bits and pieces. Yeah, you know, do what you want to do, Mike. Don't let them, you know, F thing. What would be your pick for a slim module? I have an X-Lite S. The slim module, I really like the Beta FPV module. The first batch they had, the ones they sent out to reviewers, had issues where they're missing a resistor. It's an extremely well-built receiver. It doesn't have a fan in it, but they use the aluminum, the machine, or the extruded aluminum in the back of it as a heat sink. It will do, I think, 500 milliwatts, maybe 1 watt, I don't remember. Let me look here, I forgot. But I really do like the Beta FPV one. I know a lot of people don't like Beta FPV, but Beta FPV is also pushing the envelope on a lot of things. Like they, between them and Happy Model, they're like the first ones to do a lot of different stuff. Looking. They also make very good receivers as well. That would be my go-to. I love the antenna that they sell. The antenna they sell with it. It's a SMA to MMCX and a Moxon style antenna. Super good antenna that goes on the end of it. It'll do 500 milliwatts, which is plenty. If you want to go, if you need more than 500 milliwatts, you should probably be using 900 megahertz. Mike Bergman, I like to build. I love to build too. Yeah, so I hope that answers the question why 2.4 versus 900. If you're racing, proximity, closer range, the average person, 2.4 is probably going to be plenty of range for their video system. If you are flying low RF, like you're out in the desert and you're flying a wing, line of sight for miles, 900 megahertz is going to get you farther than 2.4. 2.4 may still actually outsurpass your video system. It's hard to say, but it's easy to say that 900 is going to be better for long range than 2.4 because it's just the way the wavelengths work. Will 2.4 get you as far as you want to go? There's so many variables. I can't give you an answer on that one. I hope that makes sense though. Cinelog 25 broke down and now waiting for one to show up. Cinelog 35, I have been not a fan of anything GEP-RC. I've had a few GEP-RC products, and this is also a couple years ago, they were usually hot garbage, both in the assembly, the tune, and the hardware. But these ducted pusher quads, I don't like. What's the purpose? What are you going to use this for? Are you filming indoor for promotional shots? Like this is a purpose-built quad. Like, you need to have a reason to have this. Otherwise, it's just not going to do anything well. It's going to haul a GoPro and be able to bump off something maybe once or twice before it cracks. God, and that's heavy too. 236 dry. Whoa. What size props this thing swinging? This look like 3.5. What size are they? I don't know. 2004s, 3-inch props. I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh yeah, if you already have Crossfire, keep it. And like, I've got quads with Crossfire. I'll just pop the module in the back of my Mambo and go fly them on that. I think the way the hobby's all fractured up, you're gonna have to make your peace with having modules. You know, like everybody has their own proprietary system. TBS, Immersion RC, FR Sky, ELRS, kind of proprietary, but you know, not proprietary in the sense that only one company can make it, but like, you need the hardware to make it work. And you know, you just have to make your peace with swapping modules. That's just the way the world's going now. Sure, because you asked. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. Splinter, I'm usually out flying Sunday mornings, but it's rained today. Well, thank you for hanging out with us then. JV FPV asks, just looking for something cheaper than Crossfire. Honestly, I would also keep up with DJI. Yeah, it's definitely cheaper than Crossfire. Crossfire is a trusted, well-established, great system, but ELRS is longer range, lower latency, and more consistent packet rate. So it beats Crossfire on the three things that I find important. As far as feature set goes, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have over-the-air updating. It doesn't have VTX control. If that's important to you, then, you know, vote with your wallet. Will 2.4 be better at short range than 900 megahertz? Absolutely. 2.4 will be lower latency and higher consistency than 900 megahertz. Not saying, but as far as like range goes, if all you're worried about is being able to control the quad, close range first, then they're going to be exactly the same. 2.4 is going to give you a lower latency between stick movement and the receiver receiving it and doing what it's got to do. 3.5 pusher, I think, would be better than a 3-inch pusher. There's quite a bit to gain with that extra 1/2 inch. Oh, it's 3.5-inch props. They have a weird way of naming their props then. Maybe that's the 35 is the 3.5. Let's see. D90-3 propeller. Like, why would a D90-3 propeller be a 3.5? You know, like, no, the D9, yeah, what? These prop manufacturers and their naming schemes are just, it's just stupid. It should be like D90 3.5, 3.5. I don't know. Maybe I'm too simple. 90 millimeter. There we go. That would be why. Okay. I'm the dumb one. The D90, 90 millimeters by 3. Okay, all right. Tony Gonzalez says I missed a giveaway. No, you didn't. I haven't done it yet. I'll do it here closer towards the end of the hour. Closer to noon. It's 10:47 here. 2.4 carries more information per packet. It carries the same amount of information per packet. The way they're getting lower latency is by sending less information in a packet. Brandon Baked Beans, how you doing today? Oh my god, so tired. It's pouring rain outside here where I live. Flood watch. Yeah, like it's either forest fires or floods. Like it's feast or famine there. It's crazy. My connection is the most important, so I go with the guys have been doing it the longest. Team Black Sheep now for the win. I mean, I wouldn't be stop being brand loyalist, you know? Like when the Ghost Hybrid came out and it was the VTX and the receiver all in one, people were asking, "Hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this?" And just nah. And then they did it. I don't know. But as far as reliability, if you want just plain reliability and good customer service and all that stuff, yes, TBS is the way to go. Also, impossible to find receivers for Crossfire right now. Yeah, their stuff gets back ordered pretty commonly. Usually, well, that's their diversity. Usually TBS is the place to order from directly. Shit, they're even out of stock. Check out FPV Exchange if you're looking for some receivers. I've got a bunch of used Crossfire receivers that I'm planning on getting rid of as well. Just because I don't use Crossfire anymore. Saying ELRS has longer range than Crossfire. Yeah, it does. At least in the independent testing I've seen, it has longer range on 900 than Crossfire with lower latency and more consistent packets. But I mean, that's apples to apples comparison. I'm not comparing a 1 watt to a 10 watt or a 10 milliwatt transmitter. Like, all things being equal, some of the testing I've seen says it's either the same or farther, but with lower latency. What is the top brand in motors and flight controllers for you? Top brand for motors, Diatone, and 533. Those are the motors I typically use. And flight controllers, Acon. Acon's what I go with for like a 20x20. I don't do anything 30x30 anymore. That stuff, as far as I'm concerned, is outdated, and I just don't use 30x30. I use 20x20 and AIOs. As far as AIOs, usually Beta FPV, because Beta FPV are happy model depending on what I'm trying to do. If I'm like going for an ultralight setup with very little pieces, like a performance whoop, happy model just because they got the most stuff crammed into their board. As far as like higher amp setups, usually Beta FPV. I've had decent luck with Beta FPV, but again, if you're asking a lot out of an AIO, you may have issues. Yeah, just start transferring receivers. That's a good way to do it. Let's see, a little room for the duct, I would imagine. Well, the less room there is for the duct, the better. You'll actually get something out of the duct if the duct is actually designed for being a duct and not just a bumper. Yeah, I see a lot of people knocking off those stupid capacitors on Crossfire for some reason. How do you update ELRS receivers? The receivers, you have 2 ways to do it. 3, technically. 1, you just do it over Wi-Fi. You plug them in and you don't turn your radio on. They'll go in, most of them, if they have a Wi-Fi chip in them, which most of them do, it'll go into Wi-Fi updating. You connect to that network on your computer. You open the configurator, and then you just hit update, and it squirts all the data to the receiver. Second way is through Betaflight pass-through, which is easy. If it's already in a quad, you just plug it in the Betaflight, open the configurator, hit flash, and it squirts the data to it. Or the third way, if it's on the bench and you don't have Wi-Fi or you've borked the flash on it, you can use a FTDI adapter, and you can flash it that way. 3 different ways. As of right now, they don't have over-the-air updating, but rumor has it they're working on that as we speak, which would be awesome because, like I said before, Ghost, TBS, and FR Sky all do over-the-air firmware flashing. It would be nice if ELRS could do that too, so you could just flash it from your radio. Let's see. It's not the easiest to update, but it is easier than older FR Sky gear, if that's what you're trying to compare it to. Mike Berger, I have 5 or 6 receivers and knocked the capacitors off. Sucks. Use smaller. Jeez. I haven't knocked one off yet. Knock on wood. But I can see it. Those components are pretty close, and they're very, very close together. TBS will repair them, though. Shipping to China, $30. America. Yeah. Speedy here. Hey, Speedy, how you doing, man? Welcome. Yeah. Ram Donko, how you doing today? Mike Bergen says, just if someone lived closer, might not cost as much to ship from the U.S. Yeah, shipping, like if you have an issue with something from overseas, and they're like, well, send it back for a refund. You're like, well, that's like half the cost of it to send it back. There's probably people in the U.S. that can solder it back on, or you can do it yourself. Then again, you knocked it off, so maybe you can't. I don't know. Speedy, out making money with a drone today. Do tell, how are you doing that? I want to know. Yep, Maytech is selling ELRS now. So if you're like not trusting of other manufacturers, Maytech is certainly somebody you can trust. Or at least they have been in the past. We'll see how they go with Express LRS. But they are making a couple really cool products. Like if you're flying on a wing and you don't have a flight controller and you need servo outputs from Express LRS or Crossfire, we have this guy. It controls up to 6 servos. Well, they have one that'll do up to 10 as well, but it's also pinned out to mate up to the pinout of Crossfire, I think. Yeah. No, maybe it's not. That should be. But anyways, they have a PWM converter, which has been a large request. And they also have 2 Express LRS receivers. They have a diversity receiver, which has been another big request from the community. And then they also have a standard SMD ceramic antenna receiver. So if you're looking for a more reputable brand, there you go. You got Maytech. Oh, wrong button. Ramdonko, I don't believe your issue was exactly from landing in the grass. I think it's because you had your flight controller mounted too close to the carbon on your frame. If you go bolt and then just the gummies, like you don't have anything between the gummies and the frame, your boards are typically too close, and in a good crash, the board will, it will flex and touch the carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is conductive, and you will get fire. Water is a terrible conductor, I'll be honest with you. Like, wet landing in grass, yes, it can cause things to spark if it makes that connection between the carbon fiber, but I don't know exactly what your build looked like, but from the pictures you showed me, it looks like you had your board too close to the carbon. Like look at this one here. Let's go to the bench. All right, so if you look at how I have this built, I don't have the gummies directly on the carbon fiber. I have a little buffer of just one of these little nylon nuts. If you take that off, it makes the board that much closer to the carbon, and if you get in a good crash, these things flex. They're going to flex probably more than that in a good crash, and they will actually touch the carbon fiber. It's been my experience. That's how I've burned up plenty of boards in the past. But conformal coating will also help if you're worried about landing in wet areas. Just buy yourself a UV light, because most of the conformal coatings will react to UV light and you'll see the spots you missed. If you don't have a UV light, you're not doing it right, because no matter how much you slather that stuff on there, you are going to miss a spot. Oh, if I had a cap, you should be able to buy that stuff from like DigiKey, Mauser, things like that, and they're probably a couple cents a piece. You're going to pay way more in shipping to get it. Yeah. Well, friend of a friend. All right. Flying a farm for a friend. Cool. Get your 107, people. Go out there and make the money. There's some caveats to that 107 stuff. Make sure you read up on what it all entails. But getting a 107 is very easy. Apparently nuts is a thing to flag comments for. Just saying. Weird. YouTube is so conservative with what they flag. Maytech will make a, I think you're saying, hope, William Tam, that ELRS will be made by Maytech. I don't know. I don't see them making a transmitter module, because the transmitter modules are pretty cut and dry. Like, there's a spec, you make it according to that spec, send it. But anyways, yeah, I'm telling you, Ram, it probably wasn't because you landed in the grass. It's probably because you landed really hard and the board's touched. Off-axis says, I never use gummies on my ESC, only flight controller and VTX. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the ESCs I've been getting lately are actually enlarged and cut for gummies. So that's the only reason why I would use them. And then, like, AIOs, obviously, gummy heaven there. But ESCs don't need gummies, clearly. Splinter, for me, it's more about supporting a person I'm down with to support. Trappy, I love his I don't give a attitude. He's one out there the longest. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you like his personality, or you like the company, or something about the company, vote with your dollars. Vote with your wallet. A lot of people absolutely hate Trappy for that same reason. I honestly don't give two. I want the best product. I want the best value per dollar. That's my philosophy. But I mean, obviously, it doesn't take much for me to be turned off from a product. One interaction with bad customer service, and I'm done with you. Like, I do not need to spend my money with you ever again if you're gonna be a D-hole. Yeah, if you have your 107, then you're accountable. If you don't have your 107, how are they gonna find you? Yeah. Yep, held for review because of these nuts. Still waiting for the Axis Flying transmitter to come out. They did a huge countdown. Nothing on Facebook, yeah. Beast boards getting positive reviews recently. Thought now I learned something. Should stick with what I've learned about. Byte FPV boards are perfectly fine. Every company has a bad board. I've had bad Byte FPV boards. I've had bad Happy Model boards. I've had bad iFlight boards. I mean, if you do this enough, I mean, think about what we're doing. We're making these things do what they shouldn't be doing, running them into stuff, expecting them to survive, all at bottom dollar. Like, if you wanted a flight controller that never dies, you would never pay for it because it'd be too expensive. iFlight had issues with the Beast boards with the H7, which is what I've got in my 250 build. Unfortunately, it does have issues that comes down to a manufacturing defect, well, a design defect. But I mean, it works just fine. You just have to know what the defects are about it. The F7s have been rock solid. Yeah. I don't know if iFlight has made a V2 of that H7. They were supposed to. Let's see if they have. iFlight Burst series. H7 V2. All right, so this one should be fine. The fix for them was putting BL Heli 32 in this. It should have been. Or at least that's what they were saying before. Nope, BL Heli, yes. Okay, so it must have just been a connection issue. All right, so this one can do RPM filtering. So that was the issue, was the RPM filtering didn't work on the H7. The V1, but the V2 for that price though, cool. Jeez, that is spicy. I hate iFlight's website. iFlight and Flywheel, their websites suck. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't flown the V2 H7 Beast. Mike Bergman, you must be running the F7. Oh, yep, there we go. F7, not H7. For Rope Squeak, why not use 2020 stack instead of AIO? Because I needed space for the Sharp Fart GTX and save weight. If I can get the same reliability out of AIO than I can of 20x20, save weight, save complexity, why not? But you can certainly do it. You can certainly put a 20x20 in there. L. Leston, I think you hit that one right on the nose. I also want the best value for money. I don't like when somebody is arrogant and doesn't want to see the competition can do better than you. That is certainly that IDGAF attitude that the person we're talking about has. And you have seen concessions. I am shocked. I'm still surprised that they released Crossfire and Tracer in the light XJT module size, but you know, it's just leaving money on the board. Flight 1 H7 boards die if you look at them funny. I have a Lightning H7. I had it in a race quad. Flew okay as long as you turned on all the Cerebro AI BS garbage that they got on, which all ended up being a lie anyways. But I hated the configurator. I hated the way it did certain things like turtle mode. Like if all you flew was iFlight or Flight 1 and that was the only way you knew turtle mode, that'd be cool. But they try to automate too many things. I don't like it. So I took it out and went with a Betaflight board. Personal preference to space is the only reason not to use 20x20. 20x20 is better as far as reliability, just because you're not cramming so much junk into such a small space, but If you're having to make bad installation decisions because you don't have enough space for a 20 by 20, then a AIO may be the better option. If you're looking for low weight and low complexity and low space, then the AIO is probably the way to go. If you have the space for a 20 by 20, like I would never run like that Beast H7 can certainly, its amp rating can certainly support a 5-inch racer. There's no way I'd ever put that on this because I have the space for a 20 by 20, and this will be more reliable. And if you bork a component, you can replace them as long as it doesn't go up in fire, because fire usually kills everything. Just saying. Going to be a KISS Ultra when available. I want to try flying KISS, but I probably won't like it. Part 107 is kind of like CDL, yeah. But getting money flowing in instead of out, hobby is good in my book. Yeah, absolutely. If you until you turn it, like there's a guy I used to race with, really good. He now flies for a living and doesn't really fly recreationally anymore. I don't know if he's just tired of it or if he's busy. Bob Noxious, how you doing today? Hey chat, I have 2 F7 beats. Only issue I've had is me. I had the buckle on the battery strap. That was weird. My phone just did some really funky stuff. And one is toast. Yep, that sucks. What about the Tony Hernandez asks, what about the iFlight AIO? I think it's 12 amp. Looks pretty interesting. Let's see. iFlight Electronics. The Celtics AIO. Which one are we looking at? The 12 amp. They've got a 20 and they've got a 5 amp. Probably looking at this one. Is that kind of the one you're talking about there, Tony Hernandez? iFlight makes good boards. I would stay away from any F405 boards. That's just me. I have my reasons. Or sorry, F411s. Get F405s. This is a F411. I don't know if I would go with that one. I mean, they're good boards, but it kind of depends on what you're putting them in and what you're doing and what your other alternatives are to that board. The only difference between 20 by 20 and AIO 25 space on the build you're using. Sometimes there's no option for 20 by stack when you already have HD board and no room. Yeah, it's all about choices. 900 have more issues in EU. Yes, that's right. I tend to think too much in the FCC region because that's where I'm at, what I do. You're right, 900 megahertz does have much lower bandwidth, so if you have like 10 people flying, you can cause issues. And I think 900 megahertz is limited to like 25 milliwatts or some crap like that in the EU. Not that anybody does that. Sorry, I had that twitch in my eye again. But yeah, there is lower bandwidth. There is certain like requirements to say for large races, even in the FCC regions, like it has to be 10 milliwatts, telemetry off, and if you have 8 pilots flying crossfire, they can interfere with each other if they're running telemetry and higher output. Splinter, getting paid to fly all day kind of feels like being a pirate to me. Yeah, I need to get God, like I have the freaking time for it. I would love to get a paying gig for flying. I kind of do. Yeah, but yeah, that's a different topic. A job will always become a job. It all depends on the person. Like everybody, like it depends on your personality. Like some people, a job becomes a lifestyle. Some people, a job is just a job. Some people, a job is just nothing. Like it depends on your personality. Yeah, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day. I've heard that before, but again, comes down to your personality. Burnout does happen. Like this whole thing, yeah, burnout for sure. Like Speaking of burnout, not that that's actually an apt transition. I will not be live streaming next week. That's why we're doing the Patreon giveaway today. There's still time to enter if you want to enter the Patreon giveaway. Tweet FPV, go to my Patreon link. $2 a day or $2 a month will get you in there. It'll also get you access to my Patreon only section of Discord. I'm in both sections, the Gen Pop and the Patreon. The Patreon obviously gets, they get first dibs on my time. So that is a way to do that. Currently I have 26 entries. So today we are giving away, or I am giving away a Ghost Light transmitter and a Ghost Hybrid VTX. That is a receiver and a full fat immersion RC Tramp Nano VTX all in one little board. Something that TBS invented, right? There goes that Twitch again. Oh man. I think it was funny that Ghost was announced and then like immediately after that Tracer was announced. Like both companies had obviously been possibly working on this in the background, but it's weird. It's really weird how the industry works. Almost like they have people working for each other, leaking information. That would never happen. iFlight has an AIO that came out that's green and not even on their website. Is that the one that you're asking about, Tony? Anytime you're forced to go do something, it will be miserable. Hey, you know what? I'm in the armed forces, so doing things that you don't want to do is something that you just kind of compartmentalize and then you bitch about to your buddies. Windjumby, Hollybrook Kakute F7 is crapping out on me. Stupid removable gyro is clipping. Yeah, I had a Kakute with the removable gyro. I had nothing but problems with that foam-mounted gyro BS. I've had a bunch of Airbot flight controllers that had the gyro mounted in like a gel. Those were absolute hot garbage. They never worked out well for me. Owning business turns into a hobby. Turns a hobby into a burnout. Yeah, do what you can do. Do what you want to do while you can do it. And the nice part is you have the option to say, I'm done, and just walk out. You have the option to just say, I'm out. So some of the things I've thought about owning my own business, like taking a day off. Like I want to take a week-long vacation. It depends on how your business is and how you have it worked out and how you have it set up. Like, can you get away for a week? Like if I stop YouTube for a week, oh my God, YouTube just, they punish me. My typical subscriber growth a month is about 130, 150. I took a week off and it dropped to 50. Coincidental? I don't know. But like even like all my analytics just dried right up. It's crazy how they beat you up here. It's basically a second job that I lose my butt on every day. But I like helping you guys out, so it's more of a personal accomplishment than a financial one here, this whole YouTube Tweet FPV thing. Yeah. Just going through the comments here. Oh, yeah, so we're going to talk about... So there have been a lot more leaked images of the DJI Osmo 2. I found off Twitter. They're, Jasper Ellens 27 is the one that released these things. But it looks like they're trying to do a lot of Insta360 Go type things. So they're trying to make like a magnetic lanyard. Obviously, they have a pacemaker. This isn't going to work. They have the typical GoPro labia mount. I don't know if it's going to work with their accessories, but hopefully it will. Hopefully it has some intercompatibility with other brands of gear. That's what she looks like. I think. I'm assuming this is an actual image. It does kind of have that SLS nylon prototype 5 field of view or degree field of view and a 1/1.7 sensor. And there it is, kind of stacked up against the competition. What's really going to make the difference, I think, is it's got to be the price point, and if Best Buy in the U.S. sells it. I saw some clips for a macro lens that magnets to the front of this thing. It looks like it'll fall off pretty easy, so obviously not something we're concerned about in our hobby. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm really curious what the price point's going to be. We'll find out on a Wednesday. What do you guys think? You think this is going to be? Do you think it's going to be a killer for the session? Think it's going to be good for FPV? Let me know. Hey Tony, I'm going to make you a moderator. Go ahead and post a link to the flight controller that you're talking about, or the AIO you're talking about. I want to see what it is you're referring to. So you should be able to post links now. Yeah, Mike Bergman. Nothing is hard and fast in this life. Everybody is different. Edox says, I'm so glad my current job doesn't depend on algorithms to make money. Was under a great algorithm lead boot when I did Flash games. Yeah. Building that TP3 soon. Yes, I will be. I heard back from Bob Ruge. He says 5 amps is plenty, mostly because of the inferior power delivery systems that we have, i.e. 1S LiPos. He said you'll never get more than 20 amps out of that battery at a time, so I'm alright with that. Is anyone else's audio clipping in and out? Oh, I don't know. Saw screw holes as well on maglens. Oh, interesting. I wonder if it's just that view. Let's see here. Huh. Is it clipping on this in this view here? Curious. It shouldn't be. Audio's fine. Oh. My internet here is hot garbage, and I have no other options, so just kind of doing what I can with what I got. All right. Kearns JW, not a fan of DJI, but the camera looks interesting. Price will be the telltale. Yeah, same thing with the replacement insurance. If it's sold by Best Buy, it might be worth it because we can abuse the crap out of the black tie protection. Depending on how they utilize it, if they go with what kind of GoPro has kind of went to, where they have to send it out for evaluation, even if you're just bringing in a dead smashed carcass. And not all Best Buys are following that practice. Some are, some aren't. It just depends on where you are. If you don't love your job, then why do it? Because depends on your job. Because the other it's all pros and cons. You have two lists. I have my job, I hate it. It pays for my lifestyle. The alternatives are find another job that may not pay the same, may have worse benefits, but maybe something you like. It's all a give and take, man. Yeah, I think it might be probably a YouTube thing, not a me thing. It could be, I don't know. Actually, I have stats. Let's see. Stream health. Stream is healthy. Awesome. All right. Well, we're told to love it because you don't really have much of a choice. Yeah. All right. So, went flying yesterday. I took one race quad on Tracer, and I also took my Emax Tiny Hawk HD, Baby Hawk HD, with all my DJI gear. I've got the DJI remote, and it's all paired to that stuff. So I took both of those with me, fired up my my trusty race quad, and Tracer went, nope, you can't do that. You need to update the firmware. And it wouldn't do it. The message I got was load firmware from agent. And I could not find a way to deal with that issue in the field. Wouldn't work through the browser on my phone, wouldn't work through the app. The app will mess with the settings, but it won't actually do any firmware updates. So yeah, that is first time any TBS product has really let me down in the field. Most of the time, it seems like every time I go racing, it's like, oh, I gotta rebind because there was a firmware update. This is the first time the firmware update didn't work, and it told me that I had an issue. And of course, TBS, you know, all the development they do screw up on a few things, like the OpenTX implementation for a screen that small. I'm missing like 3 or 4 characters off the end of the warning message. So it either said bad firmware update on agent or load firmware update off agent. I can't really see because I was missing like the first 2 letters of whatever the heck it was trying to tell me. Here's what it told me. So, I'm assuming it's saying load, because if it was saying bad, there'd probably be another set of pixels right here. But yeah, this is the issue that I was given in the field, and I had no way of correcting it. I didn't have a laptop or a computer with me, so that's that. So I couldn't fly. I flew my Baby Hawk, but still. JFV Toad Crossfire. Yeah, it might be Toad Crossfire. What's a good analog 1 watt VTX? I've been chewing through them ever since I got an FPV. Some my fault, majority just craps out. Probably the best 1 watt VTXs are definitely going to be the TBS Unifies. This one right here. I believe this one does 1 gigawatt. I mean, if someone says, "Hey, pick a VTX that's going to get me the farthest," this is the one I'm going to go with. Like, it's TBS, a known, reputable producer of electronics. There's a bunch of other like cut rate ones out there, like AKK, that make really high output VTXs, but you know, the quality is not always there, and the reliability and the signals, in my opinion, and when I've used them, they're really dirty signals, so they kind of just blast the whole spectrum. But this one will do 3 watts. This is a 3 watt VTX. Not that you can use that anywhere, and you know, well, it needs to be said, all of this VTX gear, you're supposed to have a ham technician license if you're in the US to operate. Just throwing that out there. Found TBS is terrible at handling Wi-Fi interference, lost a whole quad near a cell tower. Dude, there's not a VTX out there that's going to handle that. You're asking something that is broadcasting at the max 1 watt to overcome something that is just, you know, blasting nut-frying amounts of RF energy in the same direction, you're going to lose that every time. I would not say that that was TBS being terrible at handling Wi-Fi interference. That was probably you being terrible at handling Wi-Fi interference. I don't mean any offense, but you got to know your environment. Like, flying around a cell tower is a good way to lose a quad. Oh yeah, Rush Solos, that's a good one. Rush does make very reliable, they're a reputable brand. I always bring a laptop with me to races. Yeah, I rode my motorcycle, so I didn't really have the space. But I would have loved to. The SpeedyB adapter, I've always had good luck with it. Found out the hard way on the last good race we had. Apparently the way my quad is set up, if you plug in with SpeedyB, it powers the VTX, and I plugged in on somebody, and I still feel like absolute shit about doing that. So I've always used SpeedyB in between heats to make configuration changes. I've never had an issue, but apparently the way this flight controller, ESC, and VTX works, SpeedyB has enough oomph to power the VTX. Yeah. Isn't that the one with the flux capacitor? Yeah. No, we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, anyways, if somebody said, hey, pick a good 1 watt VTX, I'm gonna go with Rush or TBS. I don't think Immersion RC makes a 1 watt. But I've always really liked the Tramps. The Tramp was always my kind of go-to VTX for pretty much everything. Any general flying, it was always the Tramp. I think the Tramp Nano only does 500 milliwatts now. Yeah, 500 milliwatts plus, whatever that means. The Tramp HV, I think we'll do 800, 600. Yeah. Anyways. Let's see, back to the chat. Had good success with the Rush, yeah. The only issues I've had with the Rush were when the first set of the micro VTXs came out, they weren't very clear on what the power input requirements were. It's not VBAT. There's one area at the field that we race at that on 900 megahertz I will fail safe each and every time. Crossfire, R9, doesn't matter, and so have a bunch of people that I race with. There's just one area, but it's usually when the vessels that are being built are blasting radar. Yeah, there's something there that causes everybody to fail safe. Twiffy, good advice. Other VTX, Ares 1 watt handled the tower fine. Yeah, a lot of it is also luck, depending on how you have your nulls pointed at you will make a big difference. There's so much, getting back into the RF thing, there's so much variability out there that can depend on whether you're going to fail safe or you're going to have long range. I mean, you know, being 2% higher humidity in the air is going to make a difference. Flying in a dry desert with no other RF stuff, completely clear line of sight is going to be your max bet. Everything from there is going to be reduced or attenuated range. Yeah, I haven't thought about SpeedyB with the ESC settings option. It will have enough power, I imagine. Yeah, I imagine so. I want a fan of my stack. Look like a little Nautilus. Yeah, that's a interesting looking VTX for sure. But it's AKK, you know. It may work, it might not work. Yeah. Yeah, most micro VTXs require 5 volts, but the first run were not clearly marked. And it was also right when the micro VTXs started coming out. So, yeah, it happened. 500 milliwatt Tramp outranged my 800 milliwatt VTX. Yeah. There is, milliwatts is not the end-all be-all factor. There is how narrowly focused can they tune that VTX. So you can have an 800 milliwatt VTX that's broadcasting on, half of the 5.8 gigahertz spectrum. You're gonna get crap range and a crap signal. You can have something that's tuned super precise, which is great unless your goggles don't tune super precise to that frequency range. So I mean, your VRX has just as much to do with how much range you get as your VTX. And same thing with your antennas. If your antennas have weird, if they have poor tuning, again, another thing to think about. Poor antenna mounting is usually the biggest reason I find that people have poor video range. All right, Tony has posted that. Do you have a product link, Tony? And not just a picture? So that picture looks like probably this one. I know you guys can't see this. I'm trying to figure it out before I... Yeah, that looks like this one. I'm assuming it's this one. Looks like it. Or maybe not. No, it's not that one. Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet. Just gotta go get... Just got shark bite. Awesome. I have 2 Rush minis and 1 Rush tank, but are all solid, yeah. Picture's 20 amp, okay. Let's see. Ole FPV, how are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Just changed out that VTX in my Nazgul with a Rush tank. Yeah, Rush is a pretty solid VTX. Let's see. What channel and band do you guys fly? If you're flying alone, I fly on R8. That's so. My multi-GP club, we have our fun fly channel. So every person in the club is assigned like a fun fly channel, and I lasered it onto a board and we put it up there. My fun fly channel was always R8. That's why I fly at home. That's why I fly when I'm not at the field and in the house with other people. R8's my go-to. And then we all race on 25 milliwatts, and we very rarely have video issues unless there's a naval ship blasting a 1 gigawatt radar at us. Let's see. Looking for a link on this AIO that Tony Hernandez is asking questions about. Maytag ELRS. Yep, they just came out. Looks good. I would definitely suggest if you're skeptical of hand-built or happy model receivers, Maytag's an option. Boss cam channels. Interesting. Flew shark bite and a wood race yesterday. Great performance compared to analog. It was so much fun. Yeah. Some of the other multi-GP clubs around me, they've been doing mixed races with analog and DJI. I'm not really sure how they're doing it. The one time we tried it, it was an absolute total Joe, and nothing worked out. It was just nothing but bad video issues. And anytime an analog person has a video issue, they instantly blame the DJI guy. I mean, of course, that person showing up had the jankiest, most beat to antennas on his receiver. His quad had the antenna just dangling around. Like, clearly this guy was going to have video issues regardless. But As soon as analog people have video issues, they blame the DJI person, whether it's founded or not. But it seems like SharkBite's going to play nicer with the channel assignment flying with analog. But I definitely want to put... I've got a DJI built Floss 3, and I've got other analog race quads. I think one of those race quads is that I don't typically fly, like my tertiary, my third backup quad, is going to go SharkBite, just so I have A, B, and C comparison just to fly around, just to see what I like. For racing, I'm going to stick with analog until SharkBite is more reliable and lighter. And more reliable as in, like, the electronics don't die as easily in a crash. Analog stuff is pretty darn robust for what we're asking it to do. We can beat the living snot out of it, and it typically keeps working. SharkBite's not quite there. And even the founder has said he's trying to find better manufacturing for the electronics. I don't care about doing more than 200 milliwatts. 25 milliwatts is what we're capped at for racing, so that's fine. All right, it is 11:39. We're coming up to the end of the stream. Gonna give away this guy here. I'm giving away this bundle. Keeping with the Halloween theme here, I'm giving away one Ghost Micro TX and a Ghost Hybrid BTX receiver combo. If you want to get in on that giveaway, dang, I gotta keep pushing the wrong button twice. If you want to get away on that giveaway, go to tweetfpv.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, click that Patreon link, and that'll take you to my Patreon page. You can sign up and get in on the giveaway there. Also, if you want to support me without, passively, as I like to put it, here are all my affiliate links. Big one at the top, Race Day Quads. Race Day Quads has been a huge supporter of mine since day one of this thing. They have been They have been a retailer for my FPV radio grips since, like, the first time I contacted them. They're like, "Oh yes, we want to stock these things." Consistently ordering for me, super easy to deal with, and they are like the one company out there that's willing to take a chance on small companies like Fractal Engineering, JIS, Tweet FPV Grips, companies like that have a cool product but don't have like the large distribution base. Race Day Quads always takes a chance on the little guy, and they've been a huge supporter of mine. If you want to get a set of radio grips, you can get them from tweetfpv.com or go to Race Day Quads. If you're in the US, I don't charge for shipping, and if you're outside the US, it's $3. It takes a while to get to you, though, and it also skips customs, but don't tell anybody. So that's one way to support me passively. And if you want to be one of the cool kids up here at the top, click that Patreon link, and I will add you in there. And apparently I have this all screwed up. OBS always screws up this little Patreon scroll I got going up here. I don't know why it always does that. There we go. But anyways, Tweet FPV grips are hot. Yes, they are. I created them out of a necessity because I hate lanyards. So here's a good example of grips on my TBS Mambo. These are limited edition green and limited in the fact that I have only made one set and they're on my radio. I'll also do custom grips. If you find a pattern or a color you like, hit me up on the side. I can definitely work something out and get you a set in whatever color you want. Some other good examples. Here's a TX16S with my custom grips on them. I tried to design them for both pinchers and thumbers to put the grip material in the most advantageous place. Here's a TX12. This is probably one of my favorite budget, smaller form factor radios. This is a TX12. This is a awesome little radio. And this pink, I have like blue edge, like purplish edge lighting on my desk, and these things just, they glow under like a fluorescent light. And then the X9 Lite S. Oh, and I also make them for your TS100 and the clone thereof soldering irons. Those are absolute money. If you have a TS80 or a TS100, these grips are just awesome. You wouldn't think that it would be that big of a deal, but that does make a huge difference with your soldering iron. I got them on my Tango 2. Wait, actually, I don't actually run them on my Tango 2. I did. Then I had my Tango 2 custom Cerakoted, and that added enough texture to it. Plus, it looks pretty badass with the custom Cerakote job that I just don't have the grips on them. Nor do I really know where my Tango 2 is right now. Actually, I have a set of vinyl grips on it right now. Somebody asked me about cutting some carbon fiber vinyl grips. So this isn't a dip. This is Cerakoted by hand. A guy out in Orlando. I think it's Orlando or maybe Tampa. I cut a set of carbon fiber grips out of the carbon fiber vinyl. I decided not to sell these. I gave them to him just so he could test them. I like them, but I don't love them. It's not what I'm looking for. This is purely cosmetic. It has no function to it, so I did not like those. I pinch. I don't see how you can do that without a lanyard. Yeah, it's very easy. Grip panels are there to hold you in place, and pinchy pinch. That's the whole point of the grip panels, is you're not just on that smooth plastic. You have something that's adding a little bit of friction. People complain about, oh, it's scratchy and all that. Like, yeah, you're not doing that with your hand while you're flying. You are planting them on there, and it's giving you that purchase, that extra real estate, that ability to locate the same location on your radio every time you grab a hold of it. Kearns JW, if you don't have a set of grips, hit me up. JV FPV, you doing the giveaway on the stream? Yep, I am doing it. All you have to do is click the link in the giveaway post there and get signed up on the Google form. Have 30 people entered. 30 people. I don't automatically sign people up for giveaways, just because you may not want it. You may not want to pay the shipping to get to wherever you're located. So I don't automatically sign people up. The way the giveaways work is $5 and up, you get the giveaway link the second it goes live, basically for the whole month. The under $5, it goes live when I start the giveaway live stream. And I I tell Patreon to send notifications. Whether you get them or not, that's not on me. That's yeah. I never use my lanyard with the TX16S. I like the grips, and I pinch as well. Look Kearns JW. We got people here making claims that they work well. So the original the original idea behind why I do the grips was back where I used to live. I used to shoot a lot. If you're offended by firearms, I'm sorry. I'm not saying that you have to, but this company, Talon Grips, produced stick-on grip panels for your firearm, and this made a huge difference for me, just getting the same purchase every time. I adapted that over to the idea of using them on my my radio, and it seems like people like them. Going to get a TS100 now. Yeah, then buy the grips. Grips are mandatory for me. They're on all my radios. Yeah, they're on all my radios too, but I'm also drowning in radios. Whenever a new popular radio comes out, I buy a set of grips for it. Consider it a business expense, and then I typically give the radio away eventually. But I haven't been because I'm waiting for OpenTX 2.4 to come out so I can do radio-specific update videos. Because, I mean, OpenTX is the same for damn near every radio. Sorry, I missed that one. It's the same for pretty much every radio, but people can't... Sorry. A lot of people can't see through the differences between, oh, I'm doing it on a X9 Lite versus a X9D, or I'm doing it on a TX16S versus an FR Sky X9 or a QX7. It's pretty much the same. There's little variances, but people want to see somebody doing it to their exact product. And that's why I do it. I don't get nearly the same return on the videos as I do like my OpenTX 2.3.0 update video. That thing is probably my most popular video. But I do like to have these for individual troubleshooting. Yeah. Use lanyard and grips. For hand placement. Yep, that's it's start don't get trigger. Yeah, exactly. LCP 380. Yeah, my normal carry was M&P 9 compact. Ciotti FPV purple is definitely between that and the black are my most popular sellers, but the glitter ones, you will have glurpies for a while. It will eventually stop shedding. Waiting for OpenTX 2.4 and Betaflight 4.3. I've been using Betaflight 4.3 for a while now. I haven't had any issues with it. But OpenTX 2.4, should be sometime next year. I don't know. Gamma Gonad, love your grips. I have them on my TX16S DJI transmitter. I did have them on my Tango 2 until I made it completely clear. Really dig the retro Game Boy look. Still have the X's on the buttons. Awesome. Then, very weird video problem. I hope you can diagnose. Thought it was ESC noise. Mode of the VTX further away, still noisy. Is Betaflight 4.3 different, says Ram Donko. Yes, it is very different. Most of the configurator is very different. They're getting with the times. Then, this live stream environment's probably not the best place to troubleshoot it. Go to tweetfb.com, and at the bottom you can find the Discord link. Click that, go over to my Discord, go to the troubleshooting section, and post up your video post up a video of your video issues, and we'll see what we can do to try to help you out. But this is not a good place. Plus, I'm going to stop streaming here in about 10 minutes. Again, it shakes from not flying any espresso. Hey, it can be both. Whoops, messed up the link. Can you take a look? You're not going to be able to post a link here in my live stream. So hit me up over on Discord after the live stream, and I will certainly do my best to help you out. M&P Alliance, awesome. Yeah, that's what I carried, and that's what I did my my competition shooting with was M&P. Yeah, but then I'm not trying to like not help you. like helping people out through the YouTube comments is also terrible because I get like the first 4 comment back and forths, and then after that, YouTube stops giving me any notifications. So if for some reason, if you're out there and I've been helping you with a problem on the YouTube comments and then I just stopped, it's because I don't know that you replied. That's why I always try to push the Discord. Discord is the best place. Plus, it's not only me that can help you out. It's like how many Discordians do I have here? I have 641 people on Discord that can also help you out as well. Again, if you're looking for some awesome coffee, go to Ruby Moon Coffee. A real good friend of mine. I work with him. He makes the coffee to order, roast it at home. Use my code TweetFPV for $1.50 off each item at rubymooncoffee.com. He also made these things called like Stellar Bites. I don't know. It was dark chocolate covered coffee beans with his Guatemalan roast. Oh my God, so good. He's not selling those on his website. He's just doing that for local friends and family, but oh, so good. Small carry options are nice. Yeah. The Voron build, I have my accent parts printing. I put a poll up on my my Patreon or my Discord. You sick animals out there voted for green, so I picked the most electric neon green I could possibly find. So green parts printing right now. I still haven't gotten the kit from the company I ordered it from. Still waiting on that. Ram Donker, did you uninstall Betaflight before or just update? I just update. Analog TXs are mostly winter indoor radios. The Nirvana I use for Sims. Oh, gotcha. All right, let's spin the wheel. All right, if you haven't gotten it, if you're a patron and you haven't gotten it on the giveaway, I'm gonna shut it down in like 5 seconds here. Sorry if you didn't get in. There will be one next month. Next month's. So here's how it goes: is the billing cycle starts on the 5th, or on the 1st. I usually wait till the 5th or the 6th to post the next giveaway, just so you know that that's gonna be a thing. You're gonna want to stick around for the next one. Trust me. William McEwen understands why you want to stick around for the next one. Right, buddy? There's that stupid Twitch thing. All right, guys. Closing down the thingamabobber for the giveaway. Let's go ahead and get these all on the wheel. All right. Wheel of names. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Boom. There is everybody. I'm going to scroll through it. If you're not on there, let me know. Actually, it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm going to spin it anyway. Somebody give me a time between 10 and 50. Yeah, it starts 1. He's the most winningest person on these giveaways. It's kind of crazy. All right, 16. Mike Bergman on the board for 16 seconds. All right, folks. Thank you so much. You fine folks up there are the ones that keep this going. Everything that comes in on Patreon goes right back into this to support the habit and to bring you guys the stuff that I bring you. Hang on. I'm going to put out a poll here. All right, I just put a poll up. Let me know. Give me your true feelings. I've been recording most of that motorcycle restoration stuff that I've been doing. I don't want to make another channel, but I do want to get the content out there because somebody might like it. It won't replace any of this content. It'll just be in combination with. But anyways. All right, folks, here we go. I'm going to spin the wheel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations. Good luck. And here we go. Who's it gonna be? Is it Bobby Noxious? Is it Bob Noxious? I think it's Bob Noxious. Congratulations, Bob Noxious. I have your email address. I'll get in touch with you, or you can hit me up as quickly as you want. tweetfpv.com. The email address is tweetfpv@gmail.com. Pretty easy to remember. Awesome. Congratulations, Bob Noxious. You are the big winner today. But definitely stick around. Keep being a patron because next month is going to be a good one. Something I did last year, and I'm going to start this up next month, is I did White Elephant, Secret Santa, Mystery Shopper, whatever you want to call it. I did it last year for the holidays. Basically did like a mystery shopper across the country for FPV stuff. I want to do it again this year. There were a few logistical hurdles I had to deal with last year that I think I've figured out a way around. So if you're on my Discord, keep an eye out for that. I'm going to offer it to people on Discord because it's a tighter group. If I post it like on the community section in YouTube, I'm going to get a ton of randos that aren't going to hold up their end of the agreement. Basically, if you're on it, you have to participate. If you're not, if you're in it and you just go, nope, I'm out. Well, unfortunately, someone has probably already sent you something and you're being a complete dickhole and not helping. But it starts. Yeah, you didn't win. But that's all right. You can't win them all, right? YouTube seems to be dying on me right now. But anyways, thank you all for coming out today. I really appreciate it. This is the highlight of my week is doing this. I say it every week. I mean it every week. I have a ton of fun interacting with you guys kind of in real time. I would love to do like a Discord. Like if you want me to like kind of live stream on Discord, I can do that too. It's kind of nice when you have like the face-to-face, but this definitely reaches more people doing it this way. But anyways, Joshua Bardwell should be live streaming here in probably about 3 minutes. It's 11:59. It usually takes him like 3 to 4 minutes to start up. He has the world's longest intro song. Yes, Discord streams. I really like the Rick Zapata ones. Unfortunately, I'm just always busy when he does them, but they're fun to get in on. If anything, just turn the audio on and mute my microphone in the background. It's kind of cool. Discord streams are way more chaotic. Yeah, I'd have to try to find a way to chisel that out of my schedule sometime in the week. But anyways, thank you all for coming out. I very much appreciate it. Again, shill. tweetfv.com, rubymoon.com for some awesome coffee. I should probably put a link to Ruby Moon on TweetFV. Wouldn't that work? Yeah, if you buy some coffee from Ruby Moon Coffee, tell Brent that Dan sent you. Use the coupon code TweetFV for $1.50 off each item, not just your order, each item. And I'll fix this TBS nightmare over here, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you all for coming out. Greatly appreciate it. And if you want to continue the conversation, head over to Patreon, head over to Discord, and we'll see you over there. All right, guys. As always, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for supporting me, and stay positive. We'll see you next week.